Well, we'll have to wait and see. CT's covered temporarily. Juan Fletcher's got a crossfire with GXX. In fact, all three of them are here, but Major, he will strike first. Look at this trigger discipline from Juan Fletcher. Finds the bomb planter, but can't quite deal with XANTARES. He's made a mess of it. And that's where XANTARES will seize the opportunity to completely cut yepyeni out of the round. Bomb plant as well. That's as clean as you like it. Scenario, there's not much he can do here in a 1v4. Maybe chip away at a couple of heads. Other than that, yeah, massive start from the Turkish side, and Major. That previous round started, and it's Synopsy in this one. A1 spray onto Calyx, avoids the flashbang, but that second one's pretty brutal. He does at least stay alive as GXX. He lands a no-scope, follows up with another onto Major. And this round is looking slightly worse for wear for Eternal Fire, now that the actual rifles have come out. Ekblad, it is a nice kill, but still a two-man deficit here, Brandon. And I don't see XANTARES fighting his way out of this one.
45 seconds, 2 versus 4. Maybe xCloud could catch off one of these rotates transitioning in towards Library. But no, instead worried about his flank. XANTARES now peeking in. GXX is a missed shot, and that provides opportunity. Another player spotted in towards the pit. Molotov flushes out his location. Grenade follow-up. xCloud needs to be the next point of contact.
Had to be a kill there, but XANTARES is still alive and kicking. We've seen crazy things from this man before.
Being quite respectful, they're letting Eternal Fire have a lot of control here.
Yeah, and then they're just using their utility to delay them further. Really nicely done here. Eternal Fire will have to make the first move. They will need to find that first contact. And with a three-man setup towards brackets now, it's going to be very difficult to clear on out. GXX is looking very promising. One of the higher-rated players for yepyeni right now, as Juan Fletcher has been left a little bit. Are they going for a late pop here? Great shot to allow Juan Fletcher onto a weakened spot. imoRR, though, flips around 180. It's pandemonium in towards middle. GXX is there to help out his teammate in towards the cubby, and now comes back for even more, but it's not enough time. XANTARES does get a lovely frag, but an opportunity seized for GXX, and Rigon ensures that only imoRR remained. It's a 1v3. He does happen to have gotten out of the apartments, but he's nowhere near the bomb, and this is where yepyeni start to dominate. There are three towards the A bomb site at the moment, but they can still overpower them. On Fletcher, though, ebbing his way back in towards middle. They just keep using their utility to delay, and again, this is signs of Devilwalk's coaching. They just seem a lot more strategical, a lot more put together on this yepyeni side.
Couple of flashes for Major, throwing on over as the T's flood in towards short. imoRR with one, Major with another, and suddenly that's the bomb site completely compromised, and all of Bad News Eagles' work is completely undone at the hands of a couple of Tech 9s and $400 worth of flashes. Rigon now looks to put this bout back into even contention, but thinks better of it. Wants to save, hold on to the investment and the AK that's been scavenged off Eternal Fire in previous rounds. That's a really nice hit by the Turks.
And with that Eternal Fire, they seem a little stunted. They barely left T-Ramp the entirety of this round, and that's what lets Rigon get so much territory in the first place. Scenario is alone on B for now. That could be a bit of a point of contention. But I might well be lying to you. A rotation comes on over. Juan Fletcher is ready to receive the EF squad. One thing that does concern me a little bit. Okay, Scenario's got no util, but Juan Fletcher does. This should be fine. A 2 versus 3, not too shabby as Calyx begins to push on forward. He's ahead of the Molotov, but he's not ahead of Scenario's crosshair. The bomb has been dropped, 30 seconds to go. It's a nice trade from xCloud, but soon the CT rotation should be coming in, encapsulating this T-side effort. It's a nice Molotov, but it's a little too deep. Scenario can still play time, still play the pillar. And with that, xCloud does actually kill Synopsy coming in from behind, but they're not going to realize GXX is there as well. And Scenario, he's done enough.
Oh, Scenario, what a round.
He's not had a kill in at least 3 rounds now, as Calyx does at least find a man advantage for the Eternal Fire squad. But again, it's XANTARES absent against yepyeni. Rigon appears to have read the situation perfectly. I mean, he's gone from a 1.5, a 1.45 rating across 2 very prestigious tournaments to now, again, struggling on a T-side that he's often so confident on.
Just utility watch as well. Scenario still got a smoke for B. Couple of flashies for GXX, but that's about it. He's currently scoped. Okay, he is looking between 2 angles. This is very difficult because Calyx could potentially catch him off guard, and there it is. What are Eternal Fire going to do off the back of it? It looks like they might accelerate, but Calyx has just smoked himself off. Juan Flatro tucked in towards the boxes on site, up high on Cold Zera. Has to try and make this one work. They're going to have to clear him, and they do manage that. Eternal Fire have compromised the A-bomb site.
Not a trade frag, as I'm sure they would have intended.
Yeah, we're trading weaponry. XANTARES does pick up the AWP. And look at this lean for Bad News Eagles. GXX has come back on over towards the bomb site of B. And that creates a little bit of space. See Juan Flatro on a pivot, as to is Synopsy. Eternal Fire, they're slowing things down. They're going for a little bit more, I was going to say, have a contact play, but they have flash, and now they're dropping the smokes as well, signifying intent. A wrap, but the flashbang is perfect from Synopsy. 1-for-1 trade, and imoRR can't quite tap him out the server just yet.
Synopsy instead deals with Calyx, but XANTARES and imoRR a very fast reply. 2 versus 2, 40 seconds remain. And with that bomb being planted, GXX, he spurned into action, but very quickly sidelined to XANTARES.
This kill, so I was going to say that he was taking initiative and allowing the 4-player lean for Bad News Eagles, but imoRR gets the best of him, and suddenly Regon is in a world of danger.
Yeah, it's not looking fantastic here. He does have a Molotov to delay what could have been a push, but instead, they just spin a rotation over to the B-bomb site, sprint back towards middle. XANTARES looks to cover for as long as possible, but the real execute, the real finish is back onto this A-bomb site. Smokes deployed towards Moto and Synopsy. Well, he's eager not to be trapped on the wrong side of that. Saneri and Rigon, a frag apiece, actually bring the advantage back into their own favor, and Synopsy has a one-way.
What Eternal Fire going to do here? Well, it starts off with imoRR finding a wall bang through pit. Calyx can now come up and overpride a little bit of Overwatch. Eternal Fire, they're going to swarm the bomb site, but Synopsy, he's been undetected the entire time. Calyx is now stuck in a 1 versus 2. Knows the position, definitely, of Synopsy, but where has Regon got to? I don't know if that was deliberate, but it looked like that Molotov landed on top of the balcony windows to kind of give off the audio cue that it was just utility, but in actual fact there was a player in there. Regardless, Regon finds an opener, and look at the ground that they've taken off the back of it. Don't want to just kind of sit back, rest on their laurels. Bad News Eagles, they're in the bomb site.
Yeah, there is no one on Eternal Fire here to even attempt to fight them. As soon as I say that, Major, of course, catches Regon. It does even up the numbers a little, but again, perfect utility placement. The IGL's completely cut off from the action. On Flatro, cuts through X-Cloud as well. The smoke has faded, but GXX doesn't give a damn. Major falls, and hold on a minute. imoRR, he's just snuck behind the entirety of Bad News Eagles, but he cannot isolate the jewels. Suneri slips into coffins, and Juan Flatro is, well, he's behind the final player for the side of Eternal Fire. In fact, he's not behind him, he's underneath him, and with that, Calyx will try and run away and save. I don't even know if he'll be afforded it. No, Juan Flatro, that's perfect.
Eventually, if imoRR is just hitting shots like this, Regon immediately eliminated. That's banana control conceded, but look at the immediate rebuttal for Bad News Eagles. XANTARES is now on a flank. This is getting weird.
Yeah, the bomb is the last man to entry into brackets, and the bomb is about to be cut on down. Synopsy falls to trade. It does come in from GXX. Prominent on a rifle as well, it seems, but imoRR, the perfect position for him to be in as Calyx catches one Fletcher off guard, and Saneri, he's now left in a 1 versus 4. That was an amazing round there for Eternal Fire, and good to see XANTARES taking initiative.
But instead, they're having 2 Tech 9 buys. Calyx, gets overwhelmed. That's not ideal, but X-Cloud is there to step in and try and help the scenario, but now you've got the Eagles deep diving out of the apartments. GXX with 1 more. This is spiraling out of control for Eternal Fire. That's the bomb site gone.
That's why you call them the Bad News Eagles. A blinder of a shot there from GXX, and now he's back on his favorite primary. Nade narrowly missing the mark, but Majors does at least make it out of library. In this 2 versus 3, it will be Kevlar, it will be Util, and fully upgraded weaponry for the Bad News Eagles squad. And with this crossfire they've got, I don't think Major and XANTARES are really up for this challenge. Rigon biding his time patiently, sitting in towards Graveyard, completely undetected, and Rigon finally strikes. XANTARES again not having the best of games. Actually being outfragged by the IGL of Major here, which is not a regular occurrence, I can tell you that for free. Major might get 1 or 2 on the exit, but he needs to ensure that he stays alive himself.
Flatro, as imoRR won't complain about that kill at all. 5 versus 3, BNE look to regather towards top brackets. Smoke being put down towards long, but you've Again, got this crossfire already being established by the defense. One in pit, one up on balcony. With imoRR providing overwatch over towards long. xFlower, Calyx start to feel the heat in towards pit, and with imoRR falling, this could be pretty dangerous, but here comes Calyx, steps in at the perfect moment, and the entire time, xFlower's been in the pit. They're aware that he could be there, but he's still being such a nuisance. That bomb needs to make its way through.
Yeah, that's a very nice kill from Scenario, though. It does even up the numbers, but the bomb has just been dropped in apartments. This makes it a near impossible retrieval mission for Scenario. He needs to isolate 2 Jules whilst dancing up the haycart to get the bomb. That's a brilliant kill onto xFlower, though. A bit of an overextension, perhaps, with XANTARES.
For him. Little to B and E know it, but that's the entire B bomb site lost. And as a result, Eternal Fire needs to completely have a little bit of a shuffle.
Yeah, they split their defense even further, sending imoRR on the AWP, their most prominent player, to solo the site that won't be pushed upon. Major, he's caught between 2 players. Calyx finally pulls 2 back, though. It is still a winnable round. He just needs to find one flat-throw, but GXX actually cuts him through with the HE. And with that, it's not looking good for imoRR. Switches to the M4. He's going to at least try for this retake, but I reckon the crossfire will be a bit too much for him to fight from.
Smoke, flash. Ready and waiting to go. imoRR starts to begin his crawl, spots out GXX. But the entire time, where has one flat throw got to? Position revealed by the bullets, but again, one flat throw repositions forward. Smoke trying to entice one flat throw in towards the fight. There is a defuse kit on imoRR, so he can use that to his advantage, but one flat throw is completely obscured.
Yeah, they've got to do 5 flawless rounds in a row here, and that is an incredibly tall order, especially when your star player goes down to a Mac 10 early doors. But Major stepping up where required. A huge map from him so far. Could be looking to cling, at least for now, onto the possibility of an overtime. One flat throw. Oh, he's fumbled his util there. It's been fantastic up until that point. With all that said and done, still a man advantage to Eternal Fire here. Great flashbang. Scenario fully blind, can't even finish, edging his way out the smoke. And BNE, they've been completely stunted here on top banana.
A look at Calyx. Closing the net and the grip. Another miss CT smoke. imoRR has one flat throw for free. And now Scenario needs to try and deal with him, but can't quite manage it. Not up to the test. And Calyx is there in the back lines.
Back, but Bad News Eagles have got a history of constantly 16-14ing in best of ones, and Synopsy looks to ensure there is no difference here. XANTARES fall the B bomb site open. Another smoke is deployed, and this time it does not miss. Major, he cannot afford to miss either as Synopsy takes presence towards Coffins, but Major actually beats him to it. A nice frag there, evens up the numbers, and it will make this retake possible.
Interesting post plants being adopted. Double banana. In fact, basically a third because they've not crossed the threshold of that CT smoke. Everyone from Eternal Fire has rotated in from CT. Plenty of flashes, plenty of utility to give this one a go, but the bomb is already half ticked.
Yeah, with 20 seconds remaining, Eternal Fire, they need to execute now, and Rigon looks to execute them as they come round this corner. xFlower finds the first, but Major, a jumping headshot, by God! They might have done it. GXX last alive. It's a 1v3, but they're not on the bomb. He finds the first. It's a 2-case spray down. GXX! Oh my goodness, what a punishing way to close this map out. And again...